I'm Kevin VanDeWege, State Representative for the 24th Legislative District, which covers all of Clallam, Jefferson, and the upper part of Grace Harbor counties.
Cuts to state government are inevitable as the legislature works to close a $2.6 billion shortfall. What bills are you sponsoring to make government more efficient and streamlined?
Well, I think the Democratic caucus as a whole is working on a lot of things to decrease the size of government and streamline efficiencies. That's going to be a big part of what gets us out of this budget shortfall. I specifically have a couple pieces of legislation. One deals with land use hearings boards. It decreases the number of those boards from 5 down to 2 and streamlines the process for the people that are appealing through that. It's a great government efficiency bill. It's exactly the type of thing I think we need to be doing when we have a budget shortfall like we are facing now. The other one is down in South Central Washington about the Columbia Gorge Commission. It's a minor commission that I oversee on an appropriations committee, and we feel that if the state's not doing that work, the federal government will do it for us, and so that's again a type of efficiency, and that we're looking at saving potentially quite a bit of money. And then that's money that we won't have to cut out of another program. So those are two things I'm personally working on.
Can you talk a little about your bill that will increase safety for electrical workers and consumers?
Yeah, I have a piece of legislation that will increase the number of hours required for training for electrical workers, really geared around commercial electrical workers, and it's legislation that will increase the safety. The more training you have, the safer you are. I certainly learned that as being a firefighter, and safety is important. We certainly want our electricians and the people working on our businesses and homes to be safe, and this legislation helps ensure that.
The overriding theme this session, besides spending cuts, is job creation. What will your forest biomass agreements bill do to create more jobs in your district?
Forest biomass bill this year sets up a method for the Department of Natural Resources to enter into long-term contracts around biomass. So last year we had a bill that started an initial pilot project with Department of Natural Resources that turned biomass into energy. We're continuing now this year with giving the ability for DNR to turn those into long-term contracts. Anything really around energy, we want to see long-term contracts. It makes it stable. And biomass is very exciting. People are really picking up on it in the district. I think it's really creating jobs, like we've said for the past few years, that we hoped it was going to. But this bill will allow DNR to sell long-term contracts, make sure those energy supplies are safe, and really taking that timber slash that what used to be put into piles and just burned to no advantage will be burned in factories to create energy.
It's week 5 of the legislature, and legislators are likely to be here all weekend working on the floor. How does your family cope?
My family copes pretty well. You know, I'm a firefighter in my other job, and they're used to me being gone. That's all my wife and children actually have known, is me doing shift work, and so they're fairly used to it. It's different somewhat being gone for a longer period, but it's not that bad. You know, people that are serving in our armed services certainly have it a lot worse than I do, being gone 6 months, a year at a time. So we although it's hard, we feel very fortunate in the setup that we have.
Thank you.
Thank you.